Hi, today we'll talk about a new archetype that we are adding in the Opendaylight toolkit project. So this archetype is helped to simplify MD-SAL based development to create application and plugin on top of MD-SAL. So this archetype will be present under the toolkit project main archetypes. If you see over there, the archetype name is Archetype MD-SAL app simple. First you have to do, just go into that directory, then do mvn clean install. When you do that, it will install this archetype in your local repository. And once you go out of this directory, say I go to probably one more outside. Okay, if I try to create this project, so here I'm trying to create a project using this archetype. And what I'm doing is I'm specifying the archetype that I'm using, the version of that I'm using, and this is my own group ID. I want this structure present in my project, and I'm giving a name to my project as a test app. If I just press enter over there, it will start creating a archetype. It will, if you see over here, I'm giving a default application name, say task, and there are a couple of model field, title and description. So you can specify them in the while creating a project, like -d app name, -d model fields. So model field will be in a JSON format, say title, description, status, whatever you want to provide. App name will be some other task, to-do list, whatever you want to give. So I just do that. It will create a project named test app over here. And first step you need to do, run mvn clean install -d gen. So this will generate a yang based model for you, as well as Java provider, consumer, and web. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a little bit detail. So you don't have to do -d gen every time. This is just the first time. So let it run in the background. So what it does, it creates based on the input that we are specifying, the application name, and the field that we specified, title and description. Based on that, it will create a Yang model. Let me show you how it looks like. Uh, so I have this. So it will create task.yang, the same name. It will have module based on the name that you're specifying, container, the name that you're specifying, and the leaf, title and description of type string. So right now we are just supporting string type, so this is how it's going to work. And it will have a RPC to save entry based on the title and description if you want to save them in the data store. So this is the Yang which will be created out of it, and how to use this Yang. So so if you see, this is successful, this is working fine. And if I go to, I have my local controller running. So this is how you access the REST-conf URL. You say operational, so this is the module name and the container name you're trying to access. Right now it's not available in the controller, so it says URI has a bad format. So what we are going to do, let's see, if we go to test app, and there will be model, target. Let's copy this entry, and if we paste it into the plugin, so I have my controller running, just pasting it over there. You see it is available. So if I refresh so it said no data exists. So that means my Yang is now included automatically inside the controller. So controller read the Yang, created a URL based on that, but still there's no data available. So now if you see, we created a provider also. So what provider does, it implement the service that's been created by the Yang itself. That's a task service, and there's a save entry RPC method that Yang has. So it implement that method, and it try to save the entries in the data store. Here we are saving all those entry, and in the provider we are telling to add this, register this basically RPC service with the OSGI. And here's the implementation that we have, and this is the service for it. So if I do that, let's see, let's copy my provider. This is the provider that I have. I am actually deploying it on my controller. Just did that, and here you'll see a message, MD-SAL sample provider session initialized. So now my RPC is registered, I can access it. So how I'm going to access that? I have a consumer for that. So consumer basically doesn't do much of the stuff. It create an entry, and it just call the save entry method of the service that we have. And how you get the access to that, in the consumer context, you say, okay, get me RPC service based on the service name that you're getting, and it will just get the reference, and then you can call method on top of it. So I'm in the beginning, whenever consumer is initialized, I'm adding one entry into the data store. I have a consumer created as well. Let's here's my consumer. I get that, copy. I'm just putting it in the plugin again, and you see there will be, okay, now MD-SAL consumer session initialized. We saw earlier URL was showing no data exists. Now I refresh it, it will have one entry, oh, description from consumer, title from consumer. This is the same thing that we are adding over here. It will show you that. Now, this is fine if you are working within an application, but if you want to use REST-conf based URL, we have one web project which is also being created by the Archetype. So I'm going to deploy that web project also. So if you go to web, target, copy, here you go. So how you can access that web project, it won't be that difficult. All you have to do is localhost 8080 controller web, the name of the artifact ID that you gave, and slash view. If you hit that URL, it will show you a web application which is actually getting data using RESTconf, a RESTconf URL base, and here these title, description, all of them are actually user specified. If you specify three entries over there, say title, description, status, it will show another column. And this data is coming from RESTconf, and you can add a new entry. Here we are again going to use the RESTconf URL, but RESTconf URL will call the RPC method. Say I'll create three entry 3 description. I just save it. You'll show up. So what I'm just doing is refreshing the page, getting the data again, and it just show up. So this is a basic archetype which is working, and you can build up on top of it your own application. It will show you, if you can walk through the code and see how MD-SAL RESTconf can be used, how MD-SAL data store can be used, and yeah, this is a basic simple project, and yeah, that would be all for the demo.